Hey everybody, it's Nate and Steph from EXPLORIST.life. We teach people how to build DIY campers, and this video is episode number 5 in a new series of videos where we will be showing you step by step from the ground up how we're upfitting our brand new Ford Transit. Now in the last video, we showed you how we were planning all of our DC branch circuits, and we measured out how long each of these circuits would be to determine the proper wire sizes. And in this video, we are going to drill our first hole into the van and install the shore power inlet. Parts needed. Here's a list of parts we need for this project. The EXPLORIST.life 30 amp shore power inlet wiring kit, which includes the 30 amp shore power inlet, 10-3 wire, 3 10 gauge ferrules, number 8 by 1 inch stainless steel machine screws, number 8 stainless washers, and number 8 stainless nylock nuts. You'll also need Rust-Oleum spray paint, painter's tape, duct tape, and a cardboard box. Here's a list of tools that we need for this project. A cordless drill, an 1/8 inch drill bit, 2 7/8 inch hole saw, a screwdriver or impact driver with a Phillips bit, 11/32 inch socket and ratchet, diagonal cutters, wire strippers, a Sharpie, a mechanical pencil, a deburring tool, trim removal tools, tape measure or a ruler, gloves, safety glasses, and a shop vac. We are going to install the Battle-Born battery bank and other related power equipment over the driver's side wheel well of this van. So we will be installing the shore power inlet on the other side of this wall right back here on the rear quarter panel. We needed to gain access to the inside of the rear quarter panel, so we removed the factory installed panel by using a trim clip removal tool and worked our way around the panel, removing the trim clips so that we could get the panel out of the way. To protect the outside of the van from any kind of metal shavings, we covered the entire area with painter's tape. And then we drilled an 1/8 inch hole from the inside of the van with our cordless drill. We duct taped our shop vac nozzle to the inside of the van to be sure to catch all the metal shavings. We drilled this hole from the inside so that we could be sure to give ourselves plenty of space from any of the body support ribs or any other obstructions inside the van. Then we moved outside and taped a box around where we will be using our hole saw to further control any metal shavings. Now, if you're not picking up on it yet, metal shavings are bad. They always seem to find their way into the most inconvenient spots and start rusting. Next is hole saw time. We used a 2 7/8 inch hole saw and very carefully started cutting our hole from the outside of the van. The metal of the van here is incredibly thin, so this doesn't take very long. We didn't use cutting fluid as this cut shouldn't take long enough for the blade to heat up, and it wasn't worth the added mess. Now that our hole is drilled, we are going to take our shore power inlet and put it into the hole and line it up so it's nice and level, and then use our drill to lightly mark where the holes need to be in the van body. A mechanical pencil with some long lead or something like that would have actually worked better here, but alas, we just didn't have one. Next, we used an 1/8 inch drill bit to drill the 4 screw holes. And then we used a deburring tool around the bigger hole to get rid of any sharp parts or edges. With all the edges cleaned up, we held a piece of cardboard over the back of the hole and then sprayed a bit of Rust-Oleum paint over the area we've been working on to cover up any exposed metal to prevent it from rusting. And then we did the same on the back side. We didn't tape off the back since all of this will be covered up with insulation and walls, so we weren't too worried about it. Now that we were done making metal shavings, we could remove the box and tape from the quarter panel and carefully give the area, both front and back, a once-over with the shop vac brush attachment. Next up, we can wire the shore power inlet, so we're going to remove the retaining clip on the back of the shore power inlet and then feed the 10-3 wire from the EXPLORIST.life 30 amp shore power wiring kit through the back cover of the inlet. Next, we're going to strip the outer sheathing back about 2.5 inches, and then strip about 3/4 of an inch off the end of each wire. Now, ferrules don't fit particularly well in this shore power inlet, so we aren't going to use them here. Next, we're going to loosen the wire retaining screws on the sides of the shore power inlet. And then I'm going to insert the black, white, and green wires into their respective color-coded holes. And then I'm going to retighten the wire retaining screws to 20 inch-pounds of torque, making sure that there is no insulation under any of the terminals, creating a poor connection. And then we can slide the shore power inlet rear housing up the wire and then put the retaining clip back in place. Next, we're going to fasten the inlet to the van by placing the inlet in place, putting our 1-inch number 8 stainless steel panhead screws into place, and then threading our washers and nylock nuts on the back and tightening them until they're snug. The back of this inlet has a waterproof gasket pre-installed on it, so no additional sealant should be necessary. But if you're mirroring this installation and don't trust the seal, feel free to add a bead of Dicor sealant around the perimeter if you like. The ferrules that were included in the wiring kit from this installation will go on the opposite side of the wire when we wire this inlet to the Victron Multiplus inverter charger later in this series. So I'm just going to tape this baggie to the end of this wire and coil the wire up for safekeeping for later. And that's all there is to it. The shore power inlet is now installed and could technically be connected to a 30 amp shore power inlet at a campground or to a standard 15 amp household outlet by means of a 30 amp to 15 amp adapter. But don't connect that yet. Remember, the other end of this wire in the camper is not connected to anything, so we don't want to send power to it. Now that we have the shore power inlet installed in the side of the van, it's time to move on to the next step in this series. We need to remove the headliner of the van to start making access to as much of the metal of the van as we can so that we can start getting our plan together for sound deadening and insulation. And that's coming up next. Now, we hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, it would be awesome if you would share it with somebody or a group who you think could use it. Leave any questions you've got or new things you learned in the comment section below. And if this video inspired you to build something, be sure to tag us on Instagram with the Explorist Life tag so that we can see and share your projects. Subscribe if you want to see more DIY camper building tutorials, and we will see you in the next video.